Welcome back to the second part of the Trompovsky attack, and of course we are working on the Vaganyan's gambit after d4, knight f6, bishop g5, c5, d5, queen b6, knight c3, queen takes b2. So white is sacrificing the pawn for achieving very strong initiative in the center. Bishop d2. So this is the key move of the wall variation. So the first game played in this line in the middle of 70 was Vaganyan against Kuprechik, and later on Vaganyan twice showed quite great potential of white's position, also against Vlastimil Jansa and also against Pirellini Pasirotti from the Rome tournament 1977. So I would like just shortly just to make the overview of these two games. So after bishop d2, white is intending of course to play rook b1, and black has to move his queen back after queen b6, losing additional time for moving his strongest piece. e4, white is fighting of course for the center. d6, f4, so this is a part of white's plan. Here we have two options. Pasirotti played a6, and after e4, e5, so definitely a6 cannot be recommended. Of course black is preventing white from playing bishop b5, which quite dangerous in many lines. However, west of the time just gives white significant initiative in the center, and Vaganyan develops attack very easily. After e5, d takes e5, f takes e5, and knight g4, black is trying of course to counterattack the pawn on e5. However, here comes e6 move, so typical Sicilian move. So we studied in different lines. This idea is quite typical. So the knight on g4 right now is under attack, so black cannot recapture on e6 with the pawn, so necessary to play knight f6. After e6 takes f7, black loses the castling rights, and white brings all his pieces very fast in the game. So it's not a surprise that after king takes f7, knight f3, g6, bishop c4, queen d6, and short castling, black is having very difficult time. So b5, so this attempt to start some counterattack just easy could be stopped by knight e4, knight takes e4, knight g5 check, king g8, knight takes e4, queen e5, one more piece comes into the game, queen to f3, threatening queen f7, and queen takes f8 checkmate, bishop f5, and now bishop d3, threats bishop c3, threats g4, c4, bishop c3, queen c7. Okay, white has of course many lines which leads to the decisive advantage, but Vaganyan choose the shortest one, g4. So getting rid of the last defender of black's position, c takes d3, g takes f5. Black cannot do much after knight g7 and f takes g6. He has to resign, since knight f6 move just cannot be a real defense. White simply plays knight takes f6 check, e takes f6, queen takes f6, bishop g7, only answer to stop white from capturing the rook on h8, and now queen e6, simply checkmating black's position. So just 23 moves and black completely destroyed in the Vaganyan's gambit. So clear